And good morning on this fine, almost Christmas morning. I know it's still early December, but because it's a weekend, it feels there are only a couple of weekends now until Christmas, which does not seem right at all. Does not seem right, but it means that it feels like Christmas is right around the corner, even though it's still, week and a half away? Yes, right. I'd actually forgotten about that. I got bored and shaved it off maybe a week and a half ago, and I don't like it. Yeah, I'm the imposter. Am I the evil John or am I the not? What's the opposite of the evil John? Just the regular John? Yeah. I had it shaved off before I went to. So it was before last weekend. Last weekend, the reason I didn't stream was that I went to Maker Faire at Monash, which was really, really good. I was there for, how long? 5 hours, I think. And I still didn't see everything. I saw most things, but there was a lot there. Dave Paul Jones says, 10 years younger with a shave. Well, I suppose that's a good thing anyway. Dodgy says mine adds about 10 years. Hang on, when you... What do you mean by that? When you shave, you add 10 years? Or when you grab your beard, you add 10 years? I don't know. Yeah, and outside the box says he's putting it back. Can't you see it growing? Yeah, I shaved yesterday. I didn't shave this morning, so there's just a little bit of stubble there. No, it was actually yesterday. I shaved, what would it have been, like 12 hours ago? Something like that. 14 hours ago. Enough about that. Yeah, Dodgy says, when I have one, I look 10 years older. Yeah. Yeah, I think having the beard makes me look older as well. Well, I am old. Can't escape it. It's just the way it is. It is reality. I've gone so far into the random chat. I haven't even got to this thing, which I have to do first. I acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Whadjuk Noongar peoples. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and to Aboriginal elders and peoples from other communities who may be taking part in this live stream today. So, good morning to everybody. Michael, Dodgy, Russell, who else is there? Stephen, Mad Techie, Mitchell, Austin, David, Dave, Ray, Henrik. I have probably missed other people as well. Family plans, I'm just going back in the scroll. Back, Stephen. So, Justin's here. Luminator. Gateway is here. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Now, we have got to we've got to a point in this project. I'm talking about the wireless access point here, where projects get to this point. This is really a dangerous part for me. This is where so many of my projects fall over because I've done the interesting bit and then I don't do the final bit of wrapping it up, making it all neat, finishing the documentation and all of those sorts of things, and making it useful for other people. So I have so many projects that end up sitting at that 80%, it kind of works, does what I want stage, but it's not really at the point where other people can take it on and get involved and do fun things with it. So I really want to get through that barrier, and doing these live streams about the access point is kind of keeping me honest on that. It means that if I simply stop talking about it now, people would start to say, what happened to that live stream? I mean, what happened to that access point project? So it's at the point where, to me, it feels like I'm kind of laboring on it. It feels like I'm just flogging a dead horse, and it's done, but it's not done. And I need to keep pushing through on it. So feedback is good. If you think that, like, if you're sick of it, you don't want me talking about this anymore, that's fine. Maybe I should stop talking about it. But if you really do want to see it taken to the end and functional and have other people using it and developing it and experimenting with it and that sort of thing, that's useful to know as well. Dodgy says can't relate to that at all. Amanda, good morning. And Guillaume, good morning. Sorry, I've mispronounced that. Guillaume, perhaps. Dodgy gets the whips out. Mush, mush. Right. Imogen, good morning. Yeah. So, all right, I will keep going. And Richard, good whatever time of day it is where you are. Right now it is 10:07 a.m. on Sunday morning. At GMT plus 11, I believe we currently are because of daylight savings. Family Plan says, personally, I love it. You have to finish it. Yes, I have to finish it. I haven't even turned on the overhead camera. It's probably all screwed up in its focus and everything. But let's, I better start getting a few things ready so that when we do get to doing things, the cameras are up and running. Now, one important thing I need to say up front is who is going to be the lunch monitor today, because I have a Christmas event to go to and I really need to be out of here at 12, like done at 12. Yeah, Peter, I haven't seen Peter today. I did see Peter last week in person here in Melbourne. He came over. Yeah, he was in Melbourne and he came along to the Maker Fair. So that was really cool. Actually got to hang out with Peter Lawler in person for the first time in a couple of years. Okay, so, yeah, Dave Paul Jones says, my several projects are all in the same state, close but no cigar. Yeah, close. Error, too many projects. Austin says, my PoE testing board's just passed customs and hopefully I'll have a working solution for auto-switching PoE types. Yes, that is actually a good reason for me not to order revised PCBs. But what I'll probably do is make some minor modifications, although we can discuss this when I actually get the board design open and start playing around in it. It may be that there is no point making board changes right now, because if Austin has come up with a solution to do auto switching of PoE types, that would be really, really cool. So, yeah, sorry, brain fade. Once again, lack of sleep last night. Right, oh, Richard says, I'm Peter number 2 usually. Yes, we do have a few backups for Peter being the lunch schedule police. So Richard, you can be the honorary Peter today and keep me on track. Michael Wires, 404, project not found. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I won't try pronouncing your name again because I will screw it up. Hi, my name is always a challenge to my Aussie friends. People just call me Gilly. Okay, I will call you Gilly. I do not finish my projects, I just have a very long closing time, says Dodgy. Outside the box. I said I didn't take note of Jono's shirt. Maybe he'll say something about it. Yeah, this is kind of sad. Years and years ago, I had a shirt that I really liked. Okay, I'll show you what this one is. It's the old style NASA logo, but with different text in it. So I had a shirt that was pretty much like this years ago, and it was a pretty good quality t-shirt. And then it just wore out, ended up being thrown out many years ago. And I saw these being advertised and thought, that was a cool shirt, I'll order it. So I ordered one, and the quality on it is terrible. It feels horrible, the cut is really bad. The sticker on the front is kind of like just plastic. Yeah, it's not a good one. But I do like the Nerd NASA logo. Alright, so where to go from here? So now that Austin is talking about, well, okay, let's take stock before I decide what thing to do first. Firstly, 2 weeks ago on the live stream, we did some messing around with the config so that the network devices were added to the bridge automatically, and that was done, and I'm very sorry, I can't remember who it was that came up with the solution to that, but it was done with a system control script, and I have not yet Scott says Superhouse needs merch. It does have merch. If I open my own Superhouse page, it's going to start auto-playing, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm pretty sure that if you go to the Superhouse channel on YouTube, it should list a whole series of shirts and things. So, which are basically like the shirt that I normally wear on the stream, the grey one with the Superhouse logo on it. I'm pretty sure that is available. No, I don't think anyone's ever ordered one. Where are we? Outside the box says, yeah, I want a Steve memorabilia shirt. Yeah, we should do a t-shirt with Steve on it. That would be cool. Yeah. Tourist says, regarding that, you really should be using the built-in system for when interfaces come up and down. Yeah, I'm sure there is a lot of tuning that can be done. So where I was going with that is that there are two things I can think of that we could address today. One is the scripts, and we got it to the point where it was working last stream, but after the stream, I think I pretty much turned everything off and left because I had to go and do some other things, and the current stuff that's in GitHub does not include it. So let's pull this up here, and I will bring this up in a moment to where you can see it. So we've got the project on GitHub. Let's just drop it here in the chat for reference. Oh, Sion's here. G'day, Sion. Yeah. Oh my God, where's your beard? No. Yeah, I don't know what I'll blame it on. It's one of those things where I can just imagine myself as a little kid standing there with clippers in my hand at the moment that the ADHD kicks in, and I get bored and think, yeah, let's just shave it off. And 3 minutes later, so 3 weeks to grow, 3 weeks to 3 weeks to grow, 3 minutes to remove. Yes. So yeah, I don't know, I'm undecided. When I first clipped it off, I had this horrible, oh, that was a stupid idea feeling, and I hated it. And now now that I've been like this for a week and a half or so, I've kind of got used to it again. So seeing my own face is not so much of a shock anymore. But I may well end up growing it back. I'll see. I'll get bored again. So what are we doing? Okay, what we have here is, let's have a look in, oh, and I need to add some credits as well. Right here, this is a lie. The fact that it's just got my name on it. So I did some stuff, but many other people have contributed to this. I need to add Tony in here because of the work on the overlays, and I should add other people in here as well, people that have assisted and helped with those scripts and things. Whippersnipper. Oh, Austin. Thanks for the super chat, Steve T-shirt fund. So Scott says we need a Steve shirt with Steve wearing a Superhouse logo shirt. Yes, T-shirt inception. Where? I'm now 16 minutes in and I haven't said anything of substance. All right, let's have a look in the software directory and the setup script. And also you can see here the instructions. All of this, right down to here, is just the regular Raspberry Pi setup instructions, just to get you to a basic machine. And then this is the setup to do the things necessary to get the access point working. And what I need to do is, what are we missing here? So what we're missing is the system control stuff that we did previously, and the setup script in here needs some updating. So it installs all the stuff we need. Most of it is okay, down to, where are we? I can't remember if we need this anymore. This is the problem where I do something and then don't make a note of it at the time. I've got to be reminded of where it was. Outside the box says I didn't come here for substance. No. Oh yes, and Imogen says squirrel, squirrel. Yes. A squirrel chasing a squirrel. Scott says I'm here to not be working on my current project. So what is your current project, Scott? Please share. Share with the class. Okay, so while I'm talking rubbish, what I'm going to do is power this up, leave it. Will I take it out? No, I will. I'll unscrew it later if it turns out that I'm going to... No, I don't need to unscrew it because we've already done the hacks for the PoE stuff. And what do I need? Ethernet is step one. Let's get ourselves some Ethernet on here. The PoE jumpers are off, and we need ourselves some power. So let's chuck 12 volts into it. I'm not running PoE or anything now. I'm just going to go boink and give it some Coulomb people. So the Coulomb people come running down the inside of this little white wire, and they end up in here doing their Coulomb people dance to put energy into the little bits of sand. Okay, so Scott is attempting to build a Sonoff DIY flashing web server, but I need to make Apache execute sudo dependent scripts. Yeah, I can see that why that makes you go, Yes. That is a problem that I have faced in the past, and there is a way to do it. There is a... Whoa, what was that? I think a branch just fell on the roof. There is actually a way to do that in a safe way. I can't remember the details. It's so many years since I've done it. But what you can do is explicitly allow a process, like a particular user, to execute specific scripts with sudo privileges without giving access to sudo in general. So it's a very selective thing. So what you can do is, Scott, you probably know all of this already. Yeah, Michael says, was that Peter arriving? Henrik says, please go look. I just heard another noise. I am... Okay, you're not going to be able to see me because I'm going to walk off camera, but I'm still wearing the radio mic, so I am going to be able to hear me at least. Let's see what's going on out here. Did a branch fall? Hopefully the radio mic will keep going. I don't know. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. There's no branch on my car, which is the important thing. I don't know. Maybe it was a possum taking a huge leap. There are 2 levels to the roof up there, and possums run around on it like little crazy things sometimes. It was a ghost, yeah. That was a thud. Steve escaping the building. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Michael probably has the specific solution. I can't remember the solution, I just know that there is one. You can give a user privileges to execute a specific script with sudo privileges and nothing else. And I've used that in the past for a couple of projects, many years ago on a project which was managing a web, it was a web interface to manage Apache. And so what we, no, not to manage Apache, what am I talking about? To manage Samba. And what we wanted to do was have our web interface be able to rewrite the Samba config file, and we made a script to do that, and it had to be run as sudo obviously, but you don't want Apache to be able to rewrite anything, so yeah, you can lock down the privileges. Toshi says, you don't hear drop bears, the first you know they're chewing on your face. Yeah. Richard says, Steve took down a paparazzi. Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, Andrea says, hello from Italy. G'day, Italy. Henrik, thank you for the super chat. Get a party gift and make Infinite Steve t-shirt. Yeah. Where were we? Yes, we were we were looking at this, and so, well, that's well and truly booted by now. You can see the little rainbow flashing. If I put some shade over it, you can see the rainbow flashing on the LEDs there. So it's up and running. I'm just going to see if I can bring up a terminal, and then I've got to do that. Sorry, I'm screwing around with multiple desktops here, so I've just got to get it to somewhere that we can see it. Okay. Zoomage, and what did we call this? I can't even remember. Actually, my history will SSH minus pi at IOT AP3. I think that might have been it. Yes. Okay. And yes, it's up 5 minutes. And just because it's a habit, let's just let it do this. Oh. After so many years, how did I get that wrong? That's embarrassing. Now, what we want to do is figure out, yes, I really do want to open Eagle. I like doing board stuff, even though these board changes might end up being redundant if we add Austin's little auto power source. Oh, you don't even need the get anymore, it could just be apt. Yeah, sudo apt update, sudo apt, etc. So before the collective knowledge is totally lost, I just want to make sure that what's in here is up to date. Well, I know that it's not up to date. I want to make it up to date. What's going on here? 180 kilobytes a second. Yeah, high-speed internet. Come on. Yeah. Michael says apt-get remove was always counterintuitive. I know, it was kind of weird how the whole... Yeah. I don't know if I want to get into that. I'm going to end up dredging up some Debian-related PTSD from my years as a Debian developer. Yeah, the whole thing about depackage and how it relates to apt, and yeah, let's not get into that. So dist upgrade go. should have done -y because I'm just going to hit enter anyway. I'm not even going to read what it's going to update. Actually, I should pay attention. So what's it doing? DHCPD5, that is relevant. Bind 9 host, don't really care about. What else? Anything else in there? I'm trying to read it as it's moving up the screen. ISC, DHCP common, DHCP client. Yeah, there are a couple of networking related things in there, but oh, what the hell. Best to have it up to the latest version. Yeah, Michael says ignore the depackaged Squirrel. Yes, I have suppressed that memory. Blueman74, good morning. Now, the point of all of this is I want to get this machine back up and figure out what it was that we did last stream to get all of this working, because I think at least some of this is irrelevant. Like this particular thing doesn't even work, I think, in the startup script. Because what we were doing, this was the main problem that we were solving last time, is using bridge control to add the interfaces. So adding the ETH0 interface to bridge 0. And right now, where it is here in this script does not work. And that was the problem that was solved. So, changing this script and the instructions to make it match reality is the next step. Alright, while that is going on, I am going to press the eagle button. And let's see what we can find in here. So I might as well at least do a quick, oh, not there. I shouldn't have opened that. I just revealed some client names. Everybody look into the red light. Shh. Forget everything you saw in the last 30 seconds. What am I doing? IoT. Oh, I've still got so many projects. Look at this. I've got, well, there's only one in there. That there. But look at this. If I go open, not in here, outside of there. Outside of there. Let's do something different. If I go into, look, this is my directory of unsorted projects. So this is projects that are like in old formats and don't have all the neat directory structure with, you know, all of the things that I normally put into them. And all of these, I need to go through and move those. And then I've got projects here, and these are the ones that are in the better format. And then there is, I'm revealing way too much here. And then there are all these projects. So this is in my Eagle projects directory. Too many. All right. Projects, IoT access point, hardware. So this is the format that I try to follow these days. I have a project directory, then I've got hardware, resources, software, license, and a README. Those and images. Those are the common directories that you'll find in pretty much all of these. Like if I spin that down, there's hardware, images. Oh, and there's I'm making a liar of myself. Hand heater, firmware, hardware, images, resources, README. It's a pretty consistent format. Hardware. This one? Yes. What is this one? Up. Why is there an IoT up? Up? I don't even know what the up means. That is... Nah, I got nothing. I got nothing. But that's the old one. This is the new one. And this is where we're going to need to make some changes, both for... the critical thing is making changes around the connections coming in for power over Ethernet, because 2 of these are wrong, and the other is making changes to allow an LED ring to be mounted above this instead of using these LEDs mounted directly on the carrier PCB in 2 rows. I do like the idea of having that as a second thing that mounts above it. Oh, come on. I really should not have started that dist upgrade. Why is this thing being so slow? It should not be... Yeah. Okay. What am I missing in the chat? Austin says, think they finally declared Eagle end of life. You're going to have to switch to Fusion. Yes, I know. I know. But I still have so many of these projects. The thing that annoys me about switching to Fusion is the way that it sucks the projects into their cloud-based system, and it breaks my workflow in terms of being able to save all of the files in Git. You can export from Fusion as Eagle format, which is okay, but if I want to be able to share projects and stick them up on GitHub, so I really need that. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Fix-It. G'day. Thanks for coming along. Yeah. Tourist says ARPI 0W CPU speed. Yeah, I don't know. It's not normally like this. It is usually a lot better than this. Oh, Tony says, I've developed a method to save a whole project from Fusion. Interesting. Sion says, time to join the KiCad team. No, I'd never join the KiCad team. I joined the KiCad team. Let the argument begin. Eagle import is pretty good when it doesn't crash. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. For 3D stuff, Fusion is amazing. And the integration of Fusion and the integration of the mechanical CAD and the ECAD within Fusion is really, really good. So I certainly don't see myself switching to FreeCAD for 3D stuff. I definitely want to keep using Fusion 360 for that. And I've got a full commercial license for Fusion because I use it for commercial projects. So for my contracting clients, for well, I'm thinking of a project in particular I can't even say what it is because it's under NDA. But yeah, I use Fusion 360 for mechanical CAD on that project and for collaboration. And I have the full commercial license for that purpose because there are other people working on that project as well, and being able to collaborate by having other people edit stuff that is open in my Fusion is really, really cool. And because I'm already paying, I've already got that commercial license, essentially I get all of the electronic stuff free, which is doesn't help other people that don't have a commercial license though. Oh, Henrik, I did miss a question. Henrik says, you missed my question, started the live stream, so what's been your max PCBs in one order? Oh, okay, that is a good question. Not that many that have come to me personally. So there are really 2 answers to that question. One is, how many PCBs have I ordered to have shipped to myself to assemble here? And the highest number for that would be, I think, around 300, you know, in that sort of figure. And the major limitation for that is because I don't want to have to assemble 300 PCBs. That really sucks. So in terms of maximum PCBs that I've ordered for assembly by other people, as in factories, what would be the biggest number? maybe 5,000, something in that region, give or take, at a time, because usually these sorts of things get done in batches. So there might be 1,000 boards assembled, and then a little while later another 1,000 boards assembled, and then by the time you've gone through that, you order more PCBs. So yeah, give or take. Oh, Mr. Fixit says, installing a new heat pump and furnace system. Oh, cool. Oh, and Sion said 1,000 panelized or 1,000 panels? Not 1,000 panels. Not for me anyway. I'm not sure about Henrik. I guess Henrik is talking about 1,000 PCBs. And if you've got small PCBs, like there was, I don't know, Sion is the king of small PCBs. I'm just thinking about, in fact, I can probably show this. Maybe, if it's here. This is some boards for a, these are tiny panels, micro panels. And these really could have been done as a larger size. But here's a mini panel. I'll chuck it down under the overhead camera. Oh, memberships, Richard. That is so generous, thank you. Check out all the memberships. That is really cool. So these are tiny little PCBs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is 40 PCBs in one panel, and it's a tiny panel. It could easily, this panel could easily be 4 times this size. So there could be 120, 160 PCBs on one panel, because the actual PCB is tiny. It's a little sensor board that goes inside an enclosure and then is potted so that it's entirely weatherproof. So yeah, you could easily have a little handful of panels and have 1,000 PCBs if they are small. Wow. Sion wins this one. He says, my biggest order for one design was 500 panels, which is 7,500 PCBs. But in that same order, I had 900 panels in total, about 17,000 PCBs. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. The shipping was expensive. Yeah, I bet it was. PCBs are heavy. When you get them up into that sort of quantity, yeah, that sort of, so 500 panels, that's the sort of thing where there are multiple boxes and you need a trolley to move them. That's not regular, grab a box and hand it over to DHL sort of territory. Yes, Henrik is right. Sion, that is too much. And the worst bit out of all of that is you would have then had to populate those boards. That would suck. All right, we're nearly here. I was going to mess around. Oh, maybe I still will. I was going to fill in the time by messing around in Eagle. Is that trying to update the Pi? Yes, it is. Yeah. Sion says, yeah, super heavy plus 4 stencils, 5 boxes, and DHL delivered them in 3 deliveries. Idiots. Yeah. Wow, Stephen says, my order was 7 boxes via DHL, a bit over 3,200 USD before import duties and taxes. If so, is it trying to update via the Ethernet? Because that'll likely be why it's slower. Maybe. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. It's done. Oh, okay. Now, I'm just going to flip back through history here. So all I'm doing is up arrowing because I want to see, etc. That was where we added the network. Oh, that was where we added the SSIDs and things for testing. So I'm going back through history. In fact, what I'm going to do is No, I didn't want to do that. What I was trying to do was click the edge of the terminal because I want to bring up a second terminal and embiggenate that one as well. Take that one across there. That one, no. I wanted that half of the window. Take that one across there. Unfortunately, my face is blocking that. Alright, let's fix that face blockage problem. Bring it up to there. Cool. Now, this is hpi at blah, blah blah, and let's see what's going on. So, what I'm just trying to do here is remind myself of what we did last time. So we removed the IOT AP BR2, and what I'm going to do is have a look in that script. So I'm going to do ls1sla. Is it a, no, it's just a copy of the directory, it's not in Git. So let's have a look in setup. Why is my phone notifying me? Oh, okay. Now, do we have IOT AP BR2? IOT AP BR, no, we don't have it being moved in the setup script anymore, and we don't have it there anymore, so that's good. All right, we don't need that. Bridge control show, daemon reload, enable IOT BR service. Okay, this I think is where the change happened. So I'm not on the right. What I'm doing is I'm just using this as a reminder to myself. So cool. This is what we've got. Network online target. So we've got once and after. We've got exec start. It calls bridge control and adds the ETH0 to the bridge interface, and it only does it once. And it happens when we're in multi-user mode. Okay, so, and I'm pretty, that's not there, IOTA, blah. Okay, so let's do, let's grab a copy of that. Oh, all right, so we now have the IOTA pbr.service, and it's got to go into, etc. systemd system. So where are we going to put this in? Let's put it down. Do we still need this service control script? I can't remember. CP. I can't even remember what that thing's called now. I should have, I copied the wrong thing. Oh, IOT AP BR service, there it is. It's over on the other side. IOT AP BR.service. And we're going to stick it in etc. systemd system. And where are we? Oh, Todd, good morning or afternoon or whatever. Oh, Tony asked, help required. Need to connect a SOT23-6 chip to a breadboard for testing and do this today. No time to buy an adapter PCB. Any suggestions? Yeah, so 23.6 is the same size. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's the same size as a typical small transistor that goes on, yeah, it's a little surface mount transistor. Yeah, it's a device that, it falls into that size of device where for some people it is impossible to do because it's just too small. For some people it is, you do it with garden tools and you wouldn't even think it's a problem. So it's, yeah, in terms of advice on how to connect it, something like some, yeah, if you're dead bug mounting on a perf board. So one thing that you can do with SOT23 if you have prototyping board, if you mount it rotated about 30 degrees, you can get the 3 pads to bridge between, in fact, let's do this. So I've done this myself many times because I use prototyping board. I'm going to grab a SOT23. I've got one in the discard container on the pick and place machine. In fact, there are quite a few here because it was mispicking Friday when we were assembling boards. And so now I've got to find myself a bit of proto board. Oh, this will do. It's not an actual proto board, it's a part of a proto area. And switch to microscope view. Alright, so what we are looking at here, this is, what are you looking at? Yeah, it's jumping in and out because the camera is being stupid. This is standard 0.1 inch pitch proto board. It's on a bigger PCB, but if you've got like a prototyping shield or something, that's what it is. And oh, hang on, did you say SOT23-6? I've been that this technique will not work. Yeah, SOT23-6. Oh, that's not quite as nice. Okay. Oh, this is upside down. But this is still worth knowing. So this is a SOT23-3. But what I often do is mount them, like you could mount like that. So with a SOT23-3, oh, and the other thing, Tony, is I'm pretty sure I do have some adapters. So if you desperately need one today, oh no, you're not in Melbourne, are you? So that doesn't solve that problem. Oh, it's so annoying that the camera on this microscope keeps flashing. Come on, stop it. Be stable, please. But yeah, if you do have a SOT23-3 and you want to add it to a proto board, this is the way you do it. Basically, you just bridge across the 3 pads like that. But with a 23-6, that is not the same thing, and it will not work on proto board like that. For that, what I would do is, if I was in that situation and I was stuck and I absolutely had to do it today, I would probably find, I do have adapter boards, but if I was in this situation stuck and I didn't have an adapter board, I would try to find a PCB with a SOT23-6 footprint on it, get out the old tin snips, cut a piece of the PCB out, and make it, yeah, turn it into an adapter. Yeah, Tony says 1600 kilometers round trip is a bit out of the question. Yeah. Oh, Now. Scott says, do it, John, get out the bodge wire and dead bug it. Yeah, it doesn't really solve Tony's problem though, because it's demonstrating dead bugging on a SOT23-3, not a SOT23-6. Now, where's my cursor? I've got to find the cursor. Lost it. Oh, there it is. It's back again. Alright. Now, yeah. I'm pausing because I'm mentally debating pulling out a SOT23-6 and putting that under the microscope to show people what it looks like, but no. Let's do this instead. Okay, so we've got the service definition installed, so it's copying the IOT AP br.service into etc. systemd system. Then what did we do after that? So it was edited and then enabled. Okay, so we want to do this. Oh, this is all being run as root anyway, so I can just do that. And then say activate it. And yes, I know, it should be kind of self-explanatory, but I'm adding comments here anyway. I'm erring on the side of writing more notes than necessary. So system control enable IOT AP BR.service. And then daemon reload. I think this turned out to be necessary. I'm pretty sure that we tried this last time, thinking that maybe we wouldn't have to reload the daemon, and it turned out that we did. So let's do that. And then after that, did a reboot just to show that it was working, and then everything worked. So removed the IoT. So we don't need the init.d thing anymore, I think. IoT AP BR2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all ended up being redundant. Now, what is in IoT AP? I'm going to remind myself of that, because I might be able to remove this bit of the script. Oh no, we do need this. So, or do we? Why am I removing that from run level 2? Because we need Tony says, dead bug is underway. I'm getting on a plane, wonder if they will let it on in my hand luggage. Yeah, things have changed a bit over the last few years, haven't they? It used to be so easy to get away with stuff. I mean, I know I've told this story before, but okay, I have got many stories related to traveling with suspicious looking electronics. Once I was doing a talk at OzCon in the US. So I had to travel to the USA, and in my luggage I had RFID implant tools and RF remote controls, because I was demonstrating doing things like using an RFID reader to read a tag and then send a signal to turn a device on and off. So I had things like appliance remote controls that had been modified with Arduinos wired into them so that they could trigger the transmitters. All of this, it was like basically all the stuff that you would need if you were doing like remote detonation or, you know, really bad things. I had it all in my luggage, and it all went through, no problems at all. Didn't even question it. Another time I was flying to, where was I flying to? I can't remember. I think I was going to an LCA or something. And I had a laptop that I put through security, and it had stickers and things all over it. And I went through security, and I was coming out the other end, and my laptop was there, and then the security guy called me back, and he said, "Oh, hang on, you come back here." And I came back, and he pointed to and I thought, what's going on? I'm in trouble, because I had electronics with me that time as well. I was carrying like soldering iron and all sorts of things. And he pointed to the sticker on my laptop and said, "Are you running Debian on that?" It had the Debian logo on it. It wasn't even like the word Debian, it was a Debian logo, and he recognized it. And then he just wanted to talk about Debian. And another time, I was traveling to Hobart for LCA, and I was taking an oscilloscope with me. This is probably the most bizarre one. In my backpack, I had 2 laptops and my Rigol oscilloscope, so, and other equipment as well. So the backpack was really heavy, and this time they decided to check weights. So I don't remember what the number was, but my bag was like 3 times the limit. So I took my Rigol oscilloscope out of the backpack and put it under my jacket. And so I was wearing it like a big winter jacket. I was literally holding it, like hugging it to my body with an oscilloscope inside the jacket and carrying the laptop bag. And they weighed the bag. It was just under the limit. I went through and I took the oscilloscope back out from my jacket and put it back in the bag. Oh, Peter says, oh goodness, not Hobart, it's a terrible place. Yes, nobody ever go to Hobart. It is terrible, it's disgusting. You don't want to be there. No, don't ever do that. Now, okay, so travel with electronic squirrels. So what I'm just trying to do here is check, why did I remove the symlink to IOT AP BR2, but it's not BR2. Okay, so we're editing that. What is actually on this machine now? That is the test. So what is etc. init.d IOT AP? Oh, that was the bridge. Okay, I've got it. So we do need the IOT AP script. This one was an attempt at making the script run to add, that was a second script to add the device to the bridge. And that was what failed, which is what we replaced with this system control process. Okay, that's all good. That's good. Bridge control show. Okay, so going back in time again. So we did the daemon reload after we enabled the service, which was after we edited the service, which, oh yeah, it had been through a couple of iterations trying to make it work. Okay, so enable, that was the attempt prior to that using the, yeah, using that. I think we're good. I think that was the critical change. So all of that was made to work by IOT AP br.service. So this service file, which then gets, where is it? Service file. IOT AP, not there. There, the service definition. So it gets copied into that location, it gets enabled, and system control gets reloaded. And I'm pretty sure that is it. And that's all that's necessary for a working thing. So what I need to do now is on the right. I'm going to get out of there and I'm going to go into projects and IOT AP. Oh, hardware. Okay, so there's some stuff that's been modified. Let's IOT AP. Oh no, that's the hardware. Notes, notes. Nothing that matters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is copy ap3.local, and where was it? In software. And yeah, that being was a reminder of the thing that I'm going to immediately after this live stream. So software. That being broke my train of thought. Software. I am copying I'm copying that file. IOT AP br.service locally, and I'm also copying come on. Oh, that's the wrong host name. I'm sure someone will be pointing that out to me. That's better. Okay, and I also want to copy the setup script because that has now been modified. And we'll do git add IOT br.service and git add setup. Git commit. What are we going to say about this one? We're going to say added system control config to add ETH0 to the bridge device. I think that'll do. Origin, go. All right. Oh, System control enable now. Does a system control start as well? Saving a line, says Mark. No, says Mike. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Oh, Agim says, a couple of lines above the server setup, you have the same thing, trying to add ETH0 to a bridge. I probably do. That is true. Let's, yes. There. This is now redundant. That's a very good point. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I know why. Git pull. It's because I edited stuff on the updates. Oh, okay. Let's do, but yeah, actually, before I lose my train of thought, you are right, Agim, I need to fix that. So I'm going to fix that at this end, in here, this command here is now redundant because it's being done down here in systemd. Okay. Git add setup. I think that'll do. Now, where was I at? That's right. So, we were error failed to push some refs, rejected, non-fast forward. What am I doing here? This will be because on the last stream I edited the file directly in git pull origin main. Hopefully this will get it. Yeah, okay. Merge. And what was that merge? I don't know. I should have examined the merge before I did it. Okay, so maybe what I should do is also apply Mike's suggestion. Systemctl enable, where was it? Enable now. And start the service. Does that look right, Mike? Hopefully, hopefully that. Yes. Okay. Oh, I just glancing across. Yes, I saw. Saw some references to RFID. Yeah. Pete said, Simon, yes. Superhouse still has the RFID in his arm, but don't ask me how I know. Yeah. Peter has hacked me. Well, I say hacked. I was silly enough to let him scan my arm, and he now has a recording of the code of the chip that is inside my arm. So, okay, Peter, I'll make you regret this. So the way to get the RFID code that is in my arm is not to come after me, go after Peter. You can get the code from him. Rubber hose cryptography, do not apply it to me, apply it to Peter. Yeah, Peter says you scan it yourself. Yes, but you saved it. You're right. I did want to see whether that device would be able to scan it, and it worked. I've always passed now as the last parameter, but it'll be probably fine, says Mike. Heat is calling. Heat? H-E-A-T? Mr. Fix-It. Oh, yes, okay, so you got to go and fix your heating system. That's right. Peter is a security risk. Yes. Right. Yeah, so talking about RFID reminds me, I think I might have said this to Peter last weekend. I want to get a tattoo on my arm just over the RFID tag, and I'm trying to decide what to do. the simplest thing is basically just like a little line that is where the tag is, and then like signal strength symbols around it. But I was also thinking of maybe, but that's kind of obscure. I was thinking of also maybe just having the letters RFID directly over the tag, or maybe the frequency, like put 134.2 kilohertz on my arm. Stephen says, would the tattoo needle penetrate deep enough to hit the chip? No, I don't think so. It shouldn't. Do a barcode that says nothing to scan here. Yeah, that's the other thing is, I was talking to someone else, actually one of Chris's carers, and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, about getting a tattoo which is a QR code. And she said that she knew someone who had their Spotify playlist URL as a QR code. But the thing is, that is a really bad idea, because in 30 years from now, is Spotify even going to exist? Will URLs be the same? You cannot rely on that sort of thing to be permanent. So that made me think, what I want to do is get a QR code tattooed which goes to a URL that I control. So something within my own domain, basically like a bit.ly link, like a short link, and then I can redirect that to anywhere I like. So it could be, I could just make it a link that redirects to Superhouse or to my YouTube channel or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And I could just change it at will to point to whatever I like. Richard says, in 30 years that tattoo will have stretched to be unreadable. Yeah, that's true. It will lose clarity on the edges. Yeah, nothing to scan here. I do like that. Medic alert page. Yeah, that's a good idea, Michael. Have a medic alert page. So a QR code that if you scan it, it takes you to a page that has medical information. In 30 years, it'll point to the competition's website. Yeah. Yes. Corporate acquisitions. What am I doing? Okay. I think let's go back to here. This is the setup script now. So if I just reload this script, this page on GitHub, I should see. Why don't I see it? Why don't I see it? Maybe it didn't actually reload. I'll shift click to force it to skip the thing. So what? Run level 3, it's not in there. No, let's go back to IOT AP. Hang on. Why don't I have this? Why didn't this update? Did I even push it? What's going on? Maybe I just forgot to push. Oh, I did. Let's do this. Brain fade again. Now we should have a change within the last minutes, or maybe we don't. But does it have the service activation? No. Okay. That is because you went into out push. Yeah, you didn't commit your change. I think you're right, Andrew. I did a git. I did an edit. Let's see. Git diff setup. Yes. But even that is not. Yes. Git add setup. Edit service CTL call. I'm getting lazy with my commit messages now. And I think that because of what was merged earlier, I may still have to make another change. So let's just see how this ended up. What have we got here? Install service control script. Oh, save me from myself. What am I doing? So there is IOT AP, which is that script, and then there is setup. Cron job every minute to commit and push. You can always edit them later and do a force push or just leave them. Yeah, but I just did a... Hang on. Is this one of those situations where I'm talking and not paying attention? Alright. Git remote -v. Just make sure we're pushing to the right place. Superhouse IOT AP. Okay. Then we'll do a cat of setup, and it has in it these lines here. Install service definition directly above the LED rainbow. Maybe I'm on the wrong branch. I'm on main here. And git push origin. Main, yeah, pushing to main. There's nothing to push. Here I am on main. Where is that file saved at all? Yes. Oh. Where is that file saved? Directly above the rainbow. It's missing. Oh. This is one of those things where normally I'm fine with Git. This is one of those moments where I'm looking at Git now and thinking, what the hell is going on in your twisted little brain? Let's just try a git pull again and see if there is anything weird going on. Git pull. Git pull. Sorry, distracted by bings again. Already up to date, yes. So we have everything. So why is it I see the commit? You see the commit. Maybe I'm just looking at a cached version or something stupid like that. Shift click. It says latest commit 20 days ago. Okay, well, maybe it really is there and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. Can anybody else see it? Richard Perrott says 45 minutes to lunch. Yes. System control call. I don't know. It's in root, not in setup. You see the file is in the wrong location. Oh, that's what it is. I think, is it? How did I end up with caps lock on? I am in there. You are absolutely right. It is in the wrong location. Yes. Git mv IoT, mv IoT into software and git mv setup into software. Okay, let's just do. I was trying to do it in one move, but let's just do this. Git add. I'm going to do this explicitly so that it gets deleted. Git add setup here, and then git add IoT. Whoa, Richard! Wow. Yeah, MV with a big hammer, says Michael. Richard, that is really generous. Steve T-shirt and Christmas fund. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That is really cool. Now, Git status. Did we have the service renamed service IOT AP service? Yeah, oh yeah, that one was already done. Okay, so now I think, yes, Scott is right. Holy crap. Ah, yeah, forced me to make the Steve shirts. Yeah, I want to do a Steve shirt. The thing is that I'm really no good at graphic design. So if anybody wants to like help out with the design of it, I think it would be cool to have a Steve t-shirt. But someone with a better eye than me will probably need to do the work on it. So, Johnny, you're here. Haha. Very cool. Austin says Fiverr will be your friend. Yeah, that's a good idea. I could go to Fiverr or somewhere. Richard says, let me take a stab at the design. Okay, Richard, go for it. Not only have you paid for it, but then you do the the work as well. That hardly seems fair. Where was I up to? Okay. -M, move files into the correct place. I think that'll do for now, and then git push. Let's try this. And hopefully everything is good. Yeah, so in here without refreshing I can see set up an IOT AP BR. Oh, Johnny! More generosity, another 10 memberships gifted. That is very cool. Thank you, Johnny. Now if I reload this, these two files should disappear, which they have, and then if I go into setup, it says the commit was 32 seconds ago. We now have the IOT AP BR, the bridge service, and setup has been modified as well. So these instructions should not change, because the only change that's happened now is that we've got that systemd file, and it is now being put into place and loaded by the setup script, which has been modified. So the instructions don't change. Oh, now this. I can remove this comment. This is a whole lot of messing around for not very much progress today. It's just recapping what happened last time. Readme, Vim, readme. Now, I had notes in here about that thing not working. But now it is, because it's been fixed by the system control script. And what have we got? Oh, Scott says, oh, Scott, thank you for the super chat. Steve mount for the headrest on your chair. No, you haven't seen Steve yet this stream. Steve is right here with me. Yeah, I keep thinking that what I want to do is design and properly 3D print a mount to go on the chair there. So he needs a proper place, and ideally something that allows him to move a little bit. Maybe with a servo under it. That would be cool. I need to get onto that. Oh, TNT WX Watcher says, hi Johnny Bergdahl, I'm still here after you gifted me 2 months ago. Yeah. So all these gifted memberships are so generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, back to here. So I've just deleted the reference to the broken bridge setup because it is now working thanks to all of your help with that other thingamajigamy. Jordan says, what are the dimensions of the base and pole for the Steve mount? Well, the base, what I did here is the base was just flat. You can see there's some blue tack left over there because I had it blue tacked to stop it moving around. All I did was drill a hole in it and then stick a skewer into the bottom, and then the skewer was attached to the back of the chair. But I need to do something better than that. I also need to get a little bit of elastic or something and put Steve's hard hat on more permanently so it doesn't fall off. It's got the holes for it, I just don't have the chin strap. And what I want to do is make a base that this will go on, and maybe with a servo so that it can rotate, and that could mount up on there, and then Steve can look around. That can be the first step towards animating him anyway. Oh, Aft! Aft is here! Hey, Aft. So, oh, Jordan says I have the same chair. You do? Awesome. Nice. Oh, Aft says make Steve's hat lift off. That would actually be funny, make it go boink. Yeah, I could have something on the back of it that when there's a super chat or something, his hat goes chork. Yeah. No, TNT says I was wondering if the squirrel had a bare chin these days too. No. No, only me. Just a temporary thing. I think I will return to being a Wookiee at some point, or being Kratos, however it's pronounced. Aft says, oh, my old name was DTech30. Okay, yeah, I was wondering because I don't recall ever seeing the AFT or Aft name in the chat before. So yeah, DTech30, I do remember that. Where are we? Okay, time check, 11:23. Yeah, we're going okay for time, even though this has been a whole lot of not actually achieving anything much. Well, it's a silly little thing, but this is exactly what I was talking about at the start. It's where I now have the working device on my bench, but taking the time to go back and figure out what was the last thing that was done in the script to make that work, and then stick that in GitHub and update the setup script so other people can do it. All those sorts of things. That's where I fall over, and it's the part of the process where I do badly, and then other people can't reproduce it because the information is hidden in a video or something, and yeah. Imogen says ND brain overload. Yeah. It's also that classic ADD thing of what are the four things? For me to do something, it has to be interesting, novel, challenging, or urgent. One or more of those four things. And if it's not any of those four things, I probably just won't get to it. So when it gets to the point of I've got the thing working, and now I need to go back and look at the updated script and update the README and push it up to GitHub, and that's boring. It's just, you know, work. It's not actually, it doesn't feel like it's achieving anything, even though maybe that's what I need to do, is I need to trick my brain into feeling that that part of it, which is the, wow, another big bang. That part of it, which is the part that allows other people to engage with it, is important. And then maybe I will be more inclined to work on it. Yeah. Fellow ADHD are here. I have so many unfinished projects, lol. Yeah. Yes. Error, too many projects. Because that's the classic thing. Once projects get to that 80% point, they are no longer interesting, novel, challenging, or urgent. So on to the next thing that ticks one or more of those boxes. Yeah. Yeah. So I have to trick myself into doing these sorts of things, which is why these live streams are good. So I keep looking up at the screen here because I'm thinking about what's going on there, and you can't even see it. Yeah, thinking about this stuff, and it's a little bit of accountability and finishing things off. So Now, this is now at the point where this will probably not work exactly as is out of the box on a I need to fix this as a starting point. It'll probably not work as it is out of the box because on a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, because it doesn't have the same Ethernet interface on it. I want to add Tony in here. Tony, how do I add you? How would you like to be credited? So I'm going to put Tony in because Tony did all of the overlay work for making the W5500 work. Tony Smith, I believe. Tony, if you would like a link, you probably don't want an email address in here because that is kind of annoying, and you get lots of people hassling you and possibly spam and that sort of thing. But if you've got like a GitHub profile or something like that that you would like linked in here, let me know, because I want to give more I want to do better at giving credit to people. Now, who was it? There was at least one person, or probably several people, 2 weeks ago, who were giving me all of the information about the format of the systemd config. I think Mike Carden might have been one of them, and there was someone else. This is where I need to start paying attention to this as I'm doing it. So yeah, and yes, I know there are. Well, this is one of the areas where it can be kind of tricky, because on this stream there are so many people that have been jumping in with suggestions and telling me about, fixing problems for me, pointing things out. But there are a few people who have done significant work, like Tony working on those overlays. Go back through the video. Yeah, I could probably work it out. And I want to make sure that the people that have made those contributions at least are credited in here. So I think it was Mike and maybe someone else. Doesn't seem like Mike is active in the chat at the moment. Who else was... Someone last stream, dropped me the format for the system control script. Please remind me if anybody does remember. So Andrew R says, left field question, are you still using the Husqvarna mower? Generally yes, but there is a but. We had some landscaping done in the backyard, and when this is kind of I still don't know how to talk about this, because as I've mentioned previously, I am now living elsewhere, and so I say we had landscaping done in the backyard. It's kind of not really my backyard anymore. It's still my backyard to some extent, but not entirely, not in the same sense as it was before. So there was some landscaping done in the backyard, and fairly recently I replaced the entire perimeter wire, because the boundary wire for the mower had been in for about 5 years, 6 years, maybe even longer, and the the perimeter had changed. There had been some breaks in the wire that I'd repaired over the years, and it just got to the point where it had degraded, and there's some new paving that runs around the back side of the house, and the lawn area had been landscaped a bit, so the gradient had changed. And I took the opportunity and basically just ran new boundary wire around the entire thing. So it's got new boundary wire there as of 2 months ago or something. But we had a lightning strike, and it has damaged the PCB in the charge, like in the base station. So right now the state that it's in is, Andrew says, don't have to elaborate fully, John. Don't wave a squirrel in front of my face and expect me not to talk about it. So the, yeah, anyway, I need to get a new control board. That's the situation. Yes. Put all the folks watching the streams. Scott, that is a good idea. All the folks watching and commenting on the streams. And yeah, there were some other specific names that I wanted to add in here. I'm hesitating on adding Mike's name in because I'm not sure if it was Mike who provided that information last stream. I just can't remember. Yeah. The Steve crew. Yes. The Steve Vistas. Now, where are we at? Where are we at? Leave me a second to... it's a band name, yeah. Stephen, the commenters. Let's... the Stevers. The Stevers. Git add readme reamd. Okay. So now we should have some more credits in here. Yes. I've got Tony's name in here at least. All right. Now, this is the part of the evening where we do this. We do this. Now, there's not, as I was saying before, with Austin coming up with a way to do auto switching, there's probably not a lot of point doing a huge amount of rerouting of this PCB. But, I mean, it is a trivial change. It's only rerouting like 2 tracks. And, oops, it's not what I want. I want that. I want to change this. So we've got the connections coming out of the little transformers inside the Ethernet sockets. We've got VA1 and 2, VB1 and 2, and I'm using the wrong thing. So what I need to check, and this is definitely worth checking regardless of Austin's possible future changes with auto switching, is whether I have screwed up the assignment of the net names based on the pins. So what is that part? It's an AR, just going to look up the datasheet for it. ARJM11D7, which is the Ethernet socket, and I want to check. Yes, 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 I am in Australia. DigiKey, that is where I am. And let's have a look at the datasheet for it. And the pinout, where is the pinout? Give me a pinout. Give me a pinout. There are lots and lots of variations of it. Okay, that's going to be nice and confusing. Which one of the many? Okay. Pins, pins, pins. That's all mechanicals. Okay, here we go. Getting closer to the answer. Now, which variant am I dealing with? It is the D7114. 114, which will be down here a bit somewhere. 114, so 100 base T plus PoE. And we have, where are we? VA and VB. The labels are different. Fantastic. 114, yes. Thanks, Stephen and Austin. So here we've got VC plus, VC1 plus, VC1 minus, VC2 plus, VC2 minus. And I think what I've done, so here we've got VC1. I think what I did was when I was looking at this data sheet, I just used VC as VA and VC1 as VA and VC2 as VB, and that is probably, oh, Stephen says, yes, okay, that is what I did. But maybe I screwed it up. So, okay, let's do a little check. In fact, what we can do is we'll get this visible, get it over here, make it bigger. Wow. There is definitely stuff falling on the roof. And bring that over there, and then bring that back, get that down there, and now we can do a direct comparison. So what have we got? We have pin 7. I've screwed it up. I've put VA where VB should be and VB where VA should be. So pin 6 should be VB2. And I've got it as it should be VB1, I think. And I've got it as VA1. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. So VC2 is A as its pins 4, 5, 7, 8. Alrighty. That was my screw up. So here we've got VC1 plus. So in the symbol here, you can see I've got VC1 plus on pin 6, and I've got VC1 minus on pin 1, and that should be VC2. So when I made this this symbol, I screwed up. That is my fault. All right, let's fix that. Open Library Manager. We'll fix this footprint, not the footprint, the symbol. Connectors. And where am I? I don't even know what I'm looking for. Hand run. No, that's the. Did I use that symbol? No, I didn't. What symbol did I use? It's the ARJ. No, not that. I want info on that. ARJ. Oh, here we go. This one right here. And the symbol is the ARJM. So let's fix that. I haven't even looked at whether this information is correct yet. Let's get back to that in a second. That information is probably contained. Richard, 20 minutes to lunch. Thank you. That is good. So, good information. So, what I want is VC1 plus VC1 minus, VC2 plus VC2 minus. I probably don't need to edit it in here. I need to edit it in the pin assignment because this is the name of the signal, but it is not the name of a pin. So let's check this. VC2 is A as its pins 4, 5, 7, 8. VC2 is 4, 5 and 7, 8. And then VC1 is TX and RX coming off the center tap. I think that's correct. Looks like you just need to swap the pin numbers. Yes, Keith, I believe you are correct. So I think this symbol is fine. It's VC1 plus, VC1 minus is TX and RX center tap, and then VC2 plus 2 minus is pins 4, 5 and 7, 8. So symbol is A-OK. And then in the device, what I need to do is come into the pin assignments in here, and I need to So VC1 plus is 6. I'm going to disconnect that. VC2 plus is 7. I'm going to disconnect that. And I'm going to make VC1 plus 7, connect, and VC2 plus 6, connect. So that swaps them. And then on the minuses, I'm going to take VC1 minus is 1, disconnect, VC2 minus is 2, disconnect, and then do the same swap again. So VC1 is pin 2, connect, and VC2 is pin 1, connect. Alright, so now we should be correct. So we can see the pin numbers in here. Let's just do a sanity check there against the data sheet. So VC1 plus is on pin 7, VC1 minus is on pin 2, VC2 plus is on pin 6, VC2 minus is on pin 1. Hey, very good. Alright, so we'll save that, create a new version. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, upload. So we're now going to go to version 308 of this library. Where would we be? Oh yeah, so after said you're having storms in Melbourne. We're having strong wind. It's a pretty clear day today. There's a bit of cloud, a bit of sunshine, but strong wind is whipping the trees around. Alright, so I've done that. That has been updated. So now what's going to happen when just going to maximize that window. Here we go. So we have VA going to VC1. And what I'm going to do now is hit library update all, and things might get very confusing. Let's click it and see what happens. I didn't see a change. What happened? We'll probably see it on the board though. Let's go to the board view. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Those connections have been swapped around and the tracks are now all munged through each other as a result. So then it's just a matter of fixing the routing, I think. But let's go back to the schematic first. So is this correct? Is VA on? No, I think we need to change. Yeah, Imogen is correct. The number's changed. So got to have a look back in the scroll back. Stephen was saying what it should be. So VC2 is A. VC2 is A. So I need to change these net names as well. It's not just the pins. I'm now picking it up from the wrong place. Is that right? Yeah. Austin just said that's right, but I'm not sure if that means this is right as it stands now, or if it's right that I should swap VA and VB on here. So I think, so just to be sure, Austin, Scott says, last time he said, let's click it and see what happens, the internet balked. Yeah, yes, I do have a reputation for killing the internet. So, what do we want coming out of here? We want, okay, the way to tell is that pins 4, 5 and 7, 8 are the ones for the DIY PoE, and those are the ones that should be going to the bypass pins. So VB should be going to the bypass pins, which it probably is. Lunch in 15. But the labels on the Connect stayed the same. Yep. Yes. Good. Thank you everyone for confirming that. Yeah. So Austin says, with the way you have it, you'd want VB going to bypass. Yes, that is correct. I concur. Austin, I concur. Now, VB is currently going to bypass, but is that what we want? Do we want to have this as VB or VA? I don't think it really matters. So what it's called, like the net name, doesn't really matter. I just don't want the net name to be misleading if VA and VB should be the other way around. Yeah, then it is correct. Yeah, it is functionally correct. I'm just not sure if the labels are misleading. Yes, it matters. Yep. So down here, coming into the DP1435 PoE module, it's got inputs for VA and VB. And the thing is that these go into little bridge rectifiers anyway, so that's taken care of on there. Oh, Austin says, no, labels are right. Better put Austin in the credits. Yes, you're right. You are absolutely right. Why didn't I think of that? So, where are we? Vim, Reamd, Austin, you're going in the credits. And I know this is embarrassing, but Austin, I don't even remember your surname. Or how do you want to be credited? That's the more relevant thing. Do you want to be credited as Austin's Creations or as Austin? And do you want to link somewhere? Like, do you want to link to Austin's Creations? That's probably a good idea. Do a bit of promo for you. Austin's Creations is austinscreations.ca. So Austin's Creations is fine. Okay, I will do that. Austin's Creations. Badunk. There. Hopefully that's a suitable credit for you. And once I get some more information about how Mike should be credited, I will add that as well. Git add. Go. Yes. So there is now a link to Austin's Creations in the credits. Now, power source option. So I think this is all correct now, at least as far as the schematic is concerned. The PCB is balked, but that's kind of neither here nor there. Let's just do a little bit of a quick fixer-uppery thingamajigamy. Because it's on a different layer, that can just go around. That can go there. That, get rid of that and that. And move this along here. What's going on with this? Yeah, let's move this down here. So, we'll just do the super easy ones first. That one to there, that one to there. Yeah, let's bring this one down here. And then we've got to trail these through here. Let's just make this boink. Make it a bit skinnier. Oh, I won't fit through with that because of the design rules. That doesn't really matter. Let's I could just take it around. I could neck it down and take it through. They're big tracks. They don't really need to be that big. 0.8. That's a massive track. Let's go down to 0.6 and then it'll fit through. The design rules will let that work. So, what? How do they not let that work? All right, screw that. I am going to route it around. Let's do this. And this one, same thing. Yeah, this is really ugly routing, I know. Alright, what happened there? What happened there? No, I was not trying to click the air wire, I was just trying to do that and that. So, I think that fixes it. Yeah, technically it does. Not pretty, but it works. As a friend told me many years ago, step 1, solve the problem. Step 2, make it pretty. So we've now solved the problem. But I'm not going to do any more on that because I'm probably going to have to reroute this anyway. But at least now we have a technically correct board. Do I commit it and push it? I won't, because then I'd need to increment the version number to stop it being confusing. And oh, DIY is here. Stephen W says take it around to keep it away from the data pin. Yeah, okay. They're all looped around now. Yes, DIY, welcome. Secret inside information. Austin says, and if you want a preview, I sent you a DM on Discord that you can look at later if you wish. Yeah. I will check that out. Possibly late today, because I'm going to have to finish this stream on time and then bail to make it to Chris's place. Going to Chris's this afternoon for a Christmas event, which would be really cool. AF says double-sided board? No, it's 4 layers. Yeah. Yeah, Stephen said 4-layer single-sided load. That's right. I hate doing double-sided loads. I mean, I don't mind it if someone else is doing the assembly. Then it's fine. I don't care. But if I'm doing the assembly, I hate double-sided loads. I do them sometimes, but I try to avoid it if I can, because I don't like using the thermal set glue, and I don't like having to support the board in the oven with clearance for the parts and everything. Austin says, don't push, still have to add the pixel ring connection. That is correct. You're right, Austin. So there are more things to do. What I'm going to do is hold off on making more changes to this board until you have had a chance to verify the design of your power source switching, and then we will put a ring mount on here. So maybe that can be something for next week, is we'll find an RGB LED ring, a standard commonly available one, and make up some way of mounting that on here and remove these RGB LEDs. That could be kind of a fun thing, because that's where we really start incorporating 3D and mechanical CAD into this process too, and pushing this to Fusion. In fact, let's go push to Fusion, because it's out of sync. Push. This is where, if I was doing this directly in Fusion instead of in Eagle, the integration would be smoother. But it's still not bad. I can just come in here and click push, and then my 3D models will be updated in Fusion. Michael says, my VM in Amsterdam seems to have de-interneted itself. Yes, maybe it's gone down around the corner and availed itself of the things that you can get in Amsterdam that you can't get elsewhere. Scott says, I've seen board designs with embedded components. That sounds horrible. I've just as a really nasty thing to do. A little while ago, I thought about doing some kind of a sandwich assembly, because there has been this discussion, like, over the years. Hang on. There, that's better. Over the years, there has been a number of scare stories. People talking about computer motherboards coming out of China have built-in hardware backdoors, and all of these sorts of things. And then there'll be these stories in the newspaper, in the media, where they'll have a photo of just a regular gigabyte motherboard and pictures of parts on it, and they'll say, what is this mystery unmarked part? And you look at it and it's like, that's an inductor or something. Yeah, I think those stories are mostly bullshit. There may be some rare cases where that happens, but Sorry, I'm just, that push finished. But it got me thinking about how to do it. And what I would like to do as a challenge is to do a sandwich PCB assembly. So what you could do, you can get PCBs done down to quite thin, like 0.2, 0.4 millimeter, 0.6 millimeter. In fact, I'm not sure if you can get 0.2, but you can definitely get 0.6 millimeter. So if you got, say, a base layer on a 0.6 millimeter board with some parts on it, and then you got a second 0.6 millimeter board with cutouts that fit around the parts, and that goes over the top. And then you get a third 0.6 millimeter board, and that goes over the top to encapsulate it. You would end up with a PCB which would be 3 PCBs stacked together, sandwiched, and then you could glue them together, and you could do it. You could put some glue in and put some pressure on it so that it cures jammed really flat, tight together. And you would then have components inside the sandwich of the PCB. And I thought it would be really fun to do something like make a circuit board with some hidden I2C devices on them. Like have a microcontroller board that's got I2C on it, and then you do a scan on the I2C bus and you discover that there are devices and they're not on the board. Where are they? They're inside the board. I just think that would be a fun thing to do. Yeah. Yes. So, Alf says, do the motherboards these days have Wi-Fi on board? Yeah, so one of the things you could do is you could put an ESP32 inside the PCB. Now, obviously, something like a ESP32, you're going to discover it on power profiling anyway, because they pull so much juice. But you could probably do some kind of a low power microcontroller that wouldn't be that easy to detect. Like it might add a few milliamps to the power consumption, but unless you were really doing forensics on it or paying attention, you wouldn't notice an extra couple of milliamps. But of course the thing is that all of these things are easily discoverable the moment you stick it in an X-ray machine. So yeah. Right. Richard says, no more questions or squirrels, 3 minutes to lunch. Thanks, Richard. And thank you also for the gifted memberships. That is really, really cool. Right. DIY in the ghetto. So since I'm talking about this squirrel, might as well talk about it for the last 2 minutes. 1 minute. DIY said, so what happens if one of them parts fails? Do you have to unglue all the boards just to get to that one part? Oh, that'd be a throwaway job. It would just be... in fact, the more I'm talking about this, the more I want to do it. Let's do this as a live stream project sometime. We'll make a board that has an extra thing hidden inside it and then get it fabricated. That would be a fun thing. Outside the box says, the old way of mounting one chip under another still isn't still a thing. Well, there are only in obscure cases. There are strange things to do. It's lunch. Okay, I think it is time to wrap it up. Hi, Imogen says, enjoy your Christmas lunch. Yes, thank you. Dodgy says, and I thought I needed a life. Okay. I'm just quitting out of all of the stuffs, and I'm going to shut down the access point, sudo halt, and close the data sheets, wrapping up after myself. But yeah, seriously, the running this on a Pi 3B Plus or a Pi 4, I would be very interested to see if we can modify that script so that it detects the platform and then just does the necessary stuff. Because I want people to be able to grab an off-the-shelf Raspberry Pi, run this setup script, and have themselves a working access point. So it wouldn't have the custom hardware, but that doesn't matter. You could still do something useful with it. So, thank you very much for coming along. Have a fantastic weekend. I will talk to you soon. Now, go and build something cool.